Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Four Podcast. For the first time in a while, all four of us are here, so this should be a good podcast. Let's get started. Michigan squeaks by Army. Reactions to this game.
Yeah, Michigan is absolutely horrible. Again, one of the fans in New Texas. Every year, Texas used to be overrated and they'd lose early on. And now Michigan is in New Texas. I picked Army to win this game, and they were 3 feet away from winning this game, and they choked. Unbelievable. Michigan didn't even deserve to win. They couldn't stop the triple option. They couldn't score points. It was unbelievable.
I mean, kind of hard to game plan for the triple option because it's so unique, and they're still learning the new offense under the new coordinator. But it doesn't excuse shitting the bed like they did, and putting up 14 points in regulation is very disappointing. So that was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, and then to not be able to score points on an Army defense where they all have to stay under 250 because of their weight restrictions at West Point, it was unbelievable. I can't believe you have 280-pound linebackers and they can't even move 220-pound defensive linemen. It was unbelievable. Your offense, I couldn't believe it.
Mike?
Yeah. Michigan, typical Michigan. I didn't know Dave Warner went over to Michigan from Michigan State because they really, all they did was run into a brick wall all day long. Man, this Shea Patterson might be the most overrated quarterback in NCAA history. He is god-awful. He missed so many open throws. They were wide open. He had a touchdown on the left side. It was some fast guy, wide open, and he airmailed him by like 10 yards. Second overtime, he was awful. He missed 3 wide open receivers. He got lucked out that his kicker is decent and made a kick. He's terrible. Josh Gaddis is terrible. Alabama, he just never called plays in his life, and it really looks like it. It really looks like when you're in Madden and you click the Ask Madden button, and it picks the play for you. That's exactly what Josh Gaddis is doing on every play. Just give it to Charbonnet every time. And I actually like Charbonnet, but 33 carries for 100 yards is awful against a pretty bad Army defense. I mean, they're not bad. They're disciplined, as you would know. They should be disciplined, but yeah, Michigan's defense sucked. You know what they're going to do. You got to put 8 guys in the box and stop it, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't stop the run against Middle Tennessee. They're a terrible defense. But, they really got to play Ben Mason more because he's their best defensive tackle.
Okay, calm down.
Yep. And a great job by Jim Harbaugh. Really doing a great job so far this year, coaching up the team.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about this game. First of all, this is a disgraceful performance. The first half was really troubling, and I know the Army got bailed out, and Michigan should have had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, but it doesn't matter. No excuses for this pitiful offensive performance. Michigan fans were promised an explosive spread offense, and yeah, you can call it a spread, but they're running the same play. They're running the ball right up the middle, just like they did last year.
Well, listen.
What kind of game plan is that?
Jim Harbaugh understands that he wants to give the little guys a chance, and he's just toying with them until the
Exactly.
overtime, and that's when he takes over.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's not forget this Army team pushed Oklahoma to overtime last year too.
Okay, Army's good.
I have a lot of respect for Army. They're a good team.
But they should not be taking overtime.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying just to take it with a grain of salt.
I mean, well, you saw this coming. Michigan is a soft football team, and Army exposed that. They've been soft for a couple of years now. When you have a 100-pound advantage on both of your lines and you still can't do anything, you know you're a soft football team. And you know your quarterback's soft when he has one little injury and now he can't throw the ball at all.
Yeah, I'm not comment about. I was actually Brown did in this game. Obviously, the defense could have been better in the first half, but he made the adjustment, and the defense played a great second half. Really impressed. So that was a positive out of this game. Shea Patterson, he was okay. He made some plays, did enough to win. That's what he usually does, enough to win. And won, so he did enough to win.
Oh, and Michigan might be the most anti-American team on the planet. How dare they beat the troops like this? Unbelievable.
I thought the refs were anti-American. They had so many terrible calls to go Michigan's way. Michigan must have been paying them a lot more than the U.S. does. It's ridiculous.
Michigan doesn't have to hold to those government contracts.
Okay. And one other thing, Jim Harbaugh needs to be fired immediately. That was what he did in the fourth quarter in that game was fireable on its own. He should have been fired in the middle of the game.
What are you talking about?
The first call to go for it on first.
He understands TV ratings. He understands he'll get more money if the game is close. So that's why he kept running into a brick wall. He understands.
Well, okay, so it's 42-19, and you have one of the most sure-footed kickers from inside 40 that I've ever seen.
Except for on that extra point in overtime, which he almost missed.
Well, he made it.
Okay.
And then he elects 4th and 2. Not even a pass play, any creative play, an inside zone right up the middle. Could you be surprised? It's just embarrassing. With 2 minutes left.
The fireable thing about that is you have Ben Mason on the bench who is unstoppable, and you decide to go with a 6'2", 200-pound running back instead of an absolute bull who you have on the bench. It's dumb. I don't know why they went away from the I formation on the goal line.
I don't really care who's running the ball. I don't care if Saquon Barkley's running the ball. You should have kicked the field goal.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, fine. But Mike Gundy runs the I formation. Is Michigan just going to completely abandon the I formation now that Josh Gaddis is here? Does he have that big of an ego that he's going to decide I'm never going to run that ever again?
I don't care about the play calling. It's bad. And then the decision to not punt there towards the end of the game was also fireable. That was a graceful coaching performance by Jim Harbaugh. He should be fired immediately, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Well, Jeff Monken should be fired for not having anybody on that gunner on the first Michigan punt. They had a freaking wide open guy over there. If I'm the Army AD, I'd come down, if there even is an AD at Army, I'd come down and fire his ass right on the field. Not giving Army a... Jeff Monken is clearly anti-American by not having a guy on that gunner, leaving him wide open.
Well, Chris, according to coacheshotseat.com, Jim Harbaugh is safe.
Yeah, if Michigan went 0-12, he'd still be safe.
True.
All right.
Is more safe Ryan Day and Mark Antonio.
All right, that's enough. We're moving on. Embarrassing win for Ohio State over Cincinnati. What's your reaction?
Yeah, great. I thought it was a great all-around performance. The defense obviously getting the shutout is huge last year. That was the Achilles heel. Just our defense couldn't come up with the plays when they needed to. Couldn't hold offenses at all. So I think the offense we're gonna have a solid offense this year, especially with Ryan Day as head coach. He's the offensive guru. I think you'll always have good offense under him. It's really the defense that was the question mark during the year, and they've held up pretty well those first 2 games.
Cincinnati sucks. That's all I have to say.
And it was a huge rivalry.
Don't do that.
Rival by that.
Cincinnati, who's an American team, the American Conference is a joke.
Yeah,
the old head coach coming back, Luke Fickell, and keep burying him in the ground.
Yeah, Chris is anti-American, as we know.
Mike, what do you think about this game?
Oh, I have no opinion on it. I didn't really, watch it that much. I was too focused on Michigan taking a crap on the field. But I did notice Ohio State get a good win there. Cincinnati, they're okay, not great. The Americans pretty bad, so they'll probably be decent, but
Yeah, Cincinnati sucks. I also have no opinion on this game. Embarrassing win for Ohio State. Just a shameful win for Ohio State.
Okay.
All right. Michigan State beats up on Western Michigan.
beats up on, you mean completely and thoroughly dominated them.
Mike's getting hyped over their worst win of the season.
Honestly.
Worst win of the season? Western Michigan's winning the MAC.
No. They play Tulsa right now. I would take Tulsa by 50.
Look, well, Tulsa did get a nice win over San Jose State last night, so.
They might be the worst Division I program in America, San Jose State.
No.
I thought,
Or maybe like UConn.
no, UConn's underrated. They're making a bowl this year. 6-6. Michigan State, good performance, good win. The problem they need to worry about is Lewerke didn't hit too much. He's going to be injured by the time the end of the season comes.
Okay.
No excuses.
Not worried at all about
It's a game
that.
that you should win, and you should not be throwing Lewerke into harm's way. Obviously, I think Mark D'Antonio knows that he has the best backup in the world in Rocky Lombardi, and he's better than Lewerke, but he can't justify it to the crowd, so he's just trying to get him injured.
Alex,
Well,
what's your thoughts of the game?
well, Western Michigan is atrocious, and Mike was getting overly hyped about this yesterday.
No, I was not.
Yes, you are.
Oh, this is a huge rivalry win. Whenever Western Michigan comes into town, there's just another atmosphere. It feels completely different to any other game in our schedule. A lot of Western fans were there, hyped for the game, and our offense looked great. Way better than Michigan's offense. Brad Salem is a god. He's the greatest play caller in NCAA history, the best offensive coordinator in the country, and it's not even close. We have the best quarterback in the country, Heisman candidate, and Brian Lewerke. Elijah Collins, 194 yards rushing. He's number 2 in the Heisman candidate so far. He's the greatest running back I've ever seen. Because if you can run behind all our offensive line, you should win the Heisman. What a performance by him. Western has a very veteran defense, so the fact we did this against a defense full of seniors and juniors just shows how great of an offense we are. We have the best offense in the Big Ten, no doubt. We have the best defense in the Big Ten, and we have the best team in the Big Ten, and we have the best coach in the Big Ten. That's about it.
Yeah, not overly hyped at all.
You know, this was another embarrassing win. Man, Michigan State really embarrassed the conference here with this win.
Yeah, I know.
Awful.
You know what really embarrassed the conference? Michigan really embarrassed the conference.
Can't give up 17 points to Western Michigan. Really embarrassed the conference.
Yep.
And now, if I look at this team, their defense struggled this week, and their offense struggled last week. So that means they're struggling on all cylinders.
Yeah, you know.
I'm gonna go with like 2. I'm gonna go with 2-10 for Michigan State. I am losing out.
Well,
now.
Chris, that 10-9 prediction 2 straight weeks isn't looking too hot.
Well, okay, fair enough. Okay, Maryland obliterates Syracuse. Is Maryland for real?
No, they aren't.
No.
I think the bigger takeaway from this game is how much Syracuse sucks. To be ranked 21 in the nation and then let up 63 points to Maryland, who's a mediocre team. And
No.
yes, they're a mediocre team. To let up 63 points to a team who the last 3 to 5 years have been an absolute joke. Absolute joke is shameful. It's really shameful. And it shows how bad the ACC is.
Agreed.
Yeah, well, they had one good year last year, a fluke season. Now everybody's going to rank them, and Oh, wow, they had such a good year. Well, they had a good year last year, and to lose by, 5?
43.
For Maryland, 43. Maryland is awful. Maryland.
Oh, give me a break.
Maryland is the low-tier Big Ten team with, Illinois and Rutgers.
Okay. Illinois, that can happen.
I think they'll make a bowl. I think they'll go. If they get lucky, they'll go 8-4 Maryland. But I think they'll be around 7-5. They'll make a bowl game, and that's about it.
Yeah, I actually agree with Alex on this one because if you look at it, UConn is better than Syracuse, and Illinois beat UConn.
Okay, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves for your takes.
No.
I actually think Syracuse is pretty good. I think they're a solid team. I think the ACC sucks. I agree with Luke on that. But I think Syracuse is a solid team. This is a great win for Maryland. Maryland's the real deal. They are a top 20 team in the country without a doubt. Josh Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I said that at the beginning of the year, and he still is.
We have seen this every single season for Maryland. Every single year. They always start out blazing hot, beating a top 10 team or a top 20 team every single year. And every single year, once they get into conference play, they suck. The same thing's going to happen. I've been thinking about this for a while. And listen, you could run for 350 yards on Syracuse all you want. Once you play the big boys, you aren't going to be able to do that. They're going to make Josh Jackson throw it. I don't think he's a very good quarterback, to be honest with you.
Okay, all right, that's an absurd opinion.
Listen, he may be a 20-year veteran, but I don't believe in him. I don't.
He's a 20-year veteran. He's seen it all.
You know what he's not seeing? He's not seeing the Michigan State defensive line. That's who he's not seen before.
He's had to play Clemson, so he's a big-time player.
Well, Michigan State has a better defensive line than Clemson. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, well.
What are you talking about?
Fair enough, but he sucked against Clemson when he played him, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He's nasty. Maryland is nasty.
I just would not be shocked if Maryland lost to Temple this week. I would not be shocked at all. In fact, if we aren't picking this game, but if we were, I'd be taking Temple because I don't trust Maryland at all.
All right, let's move on. What is this?
What?
Penn State beat Buffalo 45-13.
What do you mean, what's this?
The Indiana game, I'm looking at the other team. Wisconsin handles Central Michigan. Iowa, big win over Rutgers. Big win for Iowa. Big win for Colorado over Nebraska. Purdue bounces back. Illinois gets a statement win. Indiana with a big win over Eastern Illinois, and Minnesota barely sneaks by Fresno State. Another embarrassing win for Minnesota.
Are you kidding me? Fresno State's a top 25 team.
Yeah, well, they got destroyed by USC, who you say was going to go 1-11.
They did not get destroyed. It was
USC already has more wins.
They covered the spread.
2 weeks into the season.
Fresno State covered the spread versus USC. So,
Mike, USC already has more wins than you had them having the whole season. 2 weeks in.
No, that's because they have an elite quarterback now. What's his name?
Oh, okay, yeah.
What's the guy's name? I forgot. Oh, what's
that elite? You forgot.
Yeah, he was making all the throws last night. Whatever. Keep going.
All right. Any reactions to these games?
It's still early. It's hard. You can't really tell much from these early games, especially when they're playing crap teams. But good win for Wisconsin. Nebraska, tough loss to Colorado, who's a solid team, but the Pac-12 sucks, so it's not like,
no, that's not true.
They're not getting much out of it. But you don't get much out of these games. I think that the Big Ten obviously is one of the better conferences, but it's too early to tell.
I mean, what a win for Illinois over a great
That's right.
team.
A great win.
No, I'm just kidding.
Roasted.
Oh, I'm just kidding. UConn is worse than a lot of D2 teams.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You could take USM football. and put them against UConn, and I would pick the
I don't know what you're talking about. UConn's a football school.
Listen, I really think Plymouth State would give them a run for their money.
Right.
Penn State, once again, proving that game against Idaho meant absolutely nothing. They sucked on offense in the first half. I just love I hate Penn State fans so much. They come out, they beat a team 79-0 or whatever they beat them by. They go out and they wonder why no one gives a crap. No, I don't give a crap because they do this every year. And you saw how they played in the first half, like absolute crap. And they finally wore down Buffalo in the second half. But against better teams, that's not going to fly. That's not going to help them at all. Wisconsin is the best right now. They're playing like the best team in the Big Ten, along with Ohio State. Man, Rutgers, my gosh. What a game for Rutgers. Yeah, they suck. The Nebraska choke was on full display again against Colorado. It was basically the same exact game from last year. Purdue, I saw that one coming. Vanderbilt's not very good. I did not see Illinois winning by only 8 points. I picked them to cover the spread, and they were 20-point favorites. So this is an embarrassing win for Illinois.
No, I guess they saw UConn.
Yeah, it's a statement win
by the end of the year.
Well,
good road victory too.
Yeah,
Yeah, great road victory.
Fun fact of the day.
Illinois, the fact that Illinois is playing UConn at UConn is a huge problem for the Big Ten.
Well, look, if you remember, I think it was 2013 when Michigan played at UConn, so.
Huge problem for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Ohio State's going to be traveling to Idaho to play Idaho.
Right. No, but, yeah, Illinois, embarrassing win. Fun fact of the day, though, the great Illinois program, this is their first road non-conference win in 12 years. So congratulations to Illinois. What a great program Illinois has been. Indiana sucks. They need to switch to Peyton Ramsey. When they did in the...
They won 52-0.
Yeah, well, Penix is terrible. I don't know why they decided to bench one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten. And, look, when they brought him back, he went 13 for 14 passing. So... I think he needs to start against Ohio State. That's the only chance they have, is if he starts. What a big win for Minnesota, though. I'm really, I still like them to be second, third place in the Big Ten West. I really like them a lot. Really solid team.
Row the boat.
Exactly. They're winning close, but they're winning. I mean, a lot of teams would lose these games. I know Michigan would have lost that game the way it was played. So... Gotta give Minnesota props. It's a hard place to win. So and listen, no Big Ten team goes to the West Coast and wins. It's a rule. It just never happens. So that's a big win for Minnesota.
Penn State, embarrassing win. Big win for what?
No, go ahead.
Big win for Iowa. Iowa easily the best team in the West. Not even close. Colorado, embarrassing Nebraska. Nebraska sucks. They're going 3-9. The choke was on full display. They're terrible. And Illinois, statement win. Indiana's beating Ohio State this week, and terrible win for Minnesota.
Minnesota beats a top 25 team. It's a terrible win, and Illinois barely beats probably the 110th best team in the country. Or lower, and it's a statement win. Okay. Could you imagine if it was flipped? If Minnesota beat UConn by 8 on the road, what would Crispy say?
No, I'd be saying the same thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Now let's take care of Texas.
Oh my God! What is going to find a new Heisman frontrunner? Joe Burrow, the best player in the nation. Joe Burrow throws for over 400 yards, 4 TDs. He commands that LSU offense. He's as Odro said, he's a baller. He's a ball, man. He's a ball. What a performance! Joe Burrow, best player in the country.
You gotta do a Coach O voice, Luke. I'd love to hear this.
Go Tigers. Go Joe. Joe Burrow, he's a baller.
No, well, they're trying to bring themselves back to glory, and they're knocking on the doorstep, but that would have gotten them over the hump, and they just couldn't do it. So, they had the drop pass in the end zone early on.
Definitely back. Let's calm down.
No.
Well, according to the coach's hot seat, Tom Herman is more safe than Nick Saban. So. So is Jeff Monken at Army. So Mike Judkins saying he should be fired. He's more safe than Nick Saban.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have concerns for both teams. Texas, not very good. Their defense is absolutely disgraceful. DBU, my gosh, that is an insult. They are the reverse DBU. They've had historically bad secondaries the past 5 years. They give up 400, 300, 400 yards regularly. How can they even come out with those things? That's a joke. LSU's defense concerns me as well. I think their offense is very good. I have concerns about their defense. Pass rush is very good. Burrow is very good, although his receivers are running wide open all day long. I probably could have made half those throws. But he did make some big throws. LSU is definitely a top 10 team. I'm not sure if they're a top 5 team yet. They got to play a good defense, and we'll see how Burrow plays against a good defense.
We're
sold on LSU. We know their defense is.
You're sold on everybody who wins a game. Come on.
LSU. We know their defense is good. They play Texas. They have a very good offense. I trust LSU's defense, but I didn't know that Joe Burrow had this in him.
I've been telling you for 2 years now, Chris.
What?
I've been telling you this for 2 years now.
Yep, Luke is right about Joe Burrow. And I understand they went to the hybrid offense this year. But,
times when you put the ball in Joe Burrow's hand.
Yep, it was a good decision to do that. LSU's offense looks really good. And I agree with Mike. Texas has no business calling themselves DBU. That's disgraceful.
Yeah, listen, I give it to Michigan State.
Okay, now it's LSU.
No, it's Ohio State. Ohio State's got to be DBU. They've had a cornerback drop. Quarterback in the first round the last 5 years. No, it's LSU. And
saying Texas is DBU is like saying Michigan State is O-line U.
Like saying Michigan is a university.
It's like saying Michigan is championship U.
It's like saying Michigan Big Ten championship game U.
Texas is still really good. I really like Texas. Ellinger, I thought could have been better. I really didn't think he was very good in this game. But Texas is still a really good team. I expect they'll be in the mix towards the end of the season.
No, they are probably 4th or 5th best in the Big 12. They'll lose. They'll lose to Oklahoma State. They do it every year. They'll lose to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's much better. 9-3 at the best.
And I actually disagree with Mike on LSU. They're a top 3 team in the country.
No, their defense just isn't good enough.
You're going to put them over Oklahoma, Alabama, and Clemson right now?
I'm putting them over Oklahoma. I have Clemson, Alabama, and then LSU.
You can't put them over Ohio State. Ohio State's 3 for me. Oklahoma's 4.
Yeah, and Ohio State.
Georgia's 5. LSU's probably 6 for me.
I put them at 5. I put them over.
Mike, is that why in your ranking you had them 3 last night?
Yeah, I slept on it. Well, once Washington got upset, my whole rankings were all fucked up. So,
all right. Clemson beats Texas A&M 24-10.
Yeah. Clemson's going to bulldoze through the ACC. The ACC, no one's going to even come close to beating them. There's going to be that. Actually, do they play Pitt this year? If they play Pitt this year, they're screwed. They lose Pitt every year. Or have a close game with Pitt every single year.
Didn't they beat Ohio by 10 yesterday?
Listen.
No, they played Texas A&M.
Hey.
They beat them by 14.
No, I'm talking about Pitt. I'm not talking about Clemson.
Oh, no. Pitt beats them every year. They give them a good win every year.
Yep. Listen. Pat Narduzzi has his number. Pat Narduzzi has Dabo's number. This is what I've been saying. I think Pat Narduzzi is a better coach than Dabo Swinney.
Okay.
Him and Brocco Mendenhall.
Well, Pat, did you see from the hotline? No, not see.
I mean, if we did an ACC coach draft, I'd take Steve Addazio number 1. I mean, let's be honest.
I agree with that.
Wait, okay. Clemson, A&M sucks. They're in a rebuilding year. I expect them to go maybe 6-6. I really don't like them at all. Their offensive line is complete trash. And this is a Clemson team that lost every single player on their defensive line, all 5 of them. And they still got pressure.
They get 5-star guys. They get 5-star guys every year. It's not like
I don't care. Michigan gets 5-star guys every year, and they suck.
That's true.
So it doesn't make any sense to me how A&M's offensive line could be this bad. Kellen Mond is a good quarterback, but he just doesn't have enough weapons. And his starting running back was gone from last year, and Jimbo's not a very good football coach. So,
All right.
Nope, he's not very good. Jimbo hasn't won crap without Jameis Winston. Let's be honest.
All right, Clemson, they're really good. They're going to roll through the ACC, considering A&M is 10 times better than any team they're going to play in the ACC.
No. Boston College
Really?
is much better than Texas A&M.
Okay. And from A&M standpoint, they're still going to win the national championship. A&M can lose 2 games, and they're easily a lock for the playoff because of their ridiculous and absurd schedule.
Well, Chris doesn't seem to understand that A&M is they're not even a good football team. I don't know how they possibly could go 10-2.
Well, actually, I have them going 11-1, and if they lose another game, then I'll have them going 10-2 and making the playoff. But and even if they lose, they have room for error. They can lose another game.
Wow, one more game, and they play 3 of the top 5 teams left in the country. They only have to lose 1 more.
Yeah, they lose 1 more, and they win all the other ones they're in.
They have to play LSU, and they have to play Georgia on the road, too, and they got Alabama at home. Good freaking luck.
Yeah, actually, I have them winning all 3 of those games, and they'll drop one to another team along the way.
Yep, they'll probably lose to...
Even though you said you're sold on LSU.
Yep. I'm more sold on A&M.
Chris, I'm really thinking about taking Arkansas when they play A&M coming up. I really like Arkansas.
Sweet.
All right, it seems we've lost out. So we'll move on there without him. All right. A winner and a loser from this week. It could be a coach, player, a conference, team.
All right. So obviously a winner, I would go with Joe Burrow, but I'm not going to say him, even though he's definitely the winner this week. But I'm going to start with my loser. The loser's got to be Tennessee. Tennessee losing to Georgia State and then BYU, and then getting this quote from a Georgia State player. Georgia State, who went 2-10 last year. And this quote said from a Georgia State player saying, "I think Furman will give us a tougher battle than we face Saturday, if you want to be honest." And then Furman almost beating Georgia State. So obviously Tennessee is the huge loser this week, getting absolutely buried by a team coming off a 2-10 season, and then having Furman almost beat them.
They did lose to an elite BYU team, though.
Then my winner this week has got to be Montana Tech. There's a video going around.
Oh, boy.
Have you seen this video, Mike?
Yes, I have.
of the old Montana Tech football coach. This is getting tons of publicity. This is going to send their applications through the roof. Quotes like, it's kind of like watching you're not allowed to walk the cliff in your brand new Cadillac. You get mixed feelings. Or, my favorite one, we got to practice a little bit. I want these guys to be bouncing around like a pogo stick on Viagra. I mean, he's got to be the winner this week.
Yep. My winner of the week is Mark D'Antonio, who basically spoke our offense into existence this week. This came out of absolutely nowhere, but of course Mark D'Antonio has done this more than once. He most famously the season before 2013 when he went to Pasadena and said we were going to the Rose Bowl off a 6-6 year, and we did. He spoke that into existence, and he did that as well. My loser has got to be the former Florida coach. What's his name? The head coach at Central Michigan. He was on Jim McElwain. That's my loser. He's
safe though.
No, he's a terrible football coach, and he really, my gosh, what a performance by Central Michigan yesterday. Just awe-inspiring. So he's my loser of the week.
All right, my loser is Les Miles. That's inexcusable. Kansas loses to Coastal Carolina. That is absolutely inexcusable. That can't happen.
Actually, my winner of the week is going to be Steve Adazio for scheduling Kansas and Rutgers in the same year.
And they should go to Power 5 school.
That's right.
And my winner of the week is the Pac-12.
The Pac-12. Their best team lost. Okay.
Listen, I'll tell you my reason. I'll go through the list. Oregon, big win.
Oh, boy.
Washington State, big win. And former Washington State quarterback, Gardner Minshew, playing well today.
Right.
And I thought the Pac-12 showed some depth. We know Stanford's good, but they lost to USC. Now we know USC's good, too.
Yep, USC's elite with Keldon Slovis, their new quarterback. That's who I was thinking of. He's elite. He's leading USC to the South this year.
We know that Washington's good, and now we know that Cal's good, too.
Okay, Mike. Well, Mike, I could drop a shit on the sideline as a coach, and they can lead anybody in the South to a.
No, listen, they got some competition. Arizona State is a really good football team.
Okay.
Really, they are an elite. They are a top 10 level football team.
I don't even know what to say to that.
What? It's not even controversial.
Okay. Let's move on. We'll move to the picks, and really, really interesting here. I'm in first place in the picks at 9-5. And this week in 21-12 overall, Mike, Luke, and Alex follow. Just embarrassing themselves. Let's move into the picks.
Kind of like two last place finishes in the past 2 years for you. The past two picks.
Well, we're living in the present right now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely a Michigan fan thing to say.
Michigan.
Okay. North Carolina at Wake Forest.
Oh, and by the way, I put the pictures on every slide will represent the better coach in the matchup. So as you can see, Dave Clawson is the best coach in this matchup. I don't know why you're laughing.
Mike, how about I wish you said Will Muschamp's better than Mac Brown.
Okay, well listen, I really believed in Will Muschamp. Now I think he should be fired. But at the time, I really thought he was a great coach. By the way, give me Wake Forest. I think North Carolina is not very good. They just played two bad football teams. Give me Wake Forest, who got a big win over Utah State earlier this year.
I'm going to go with North Carolina. I like Mac Brown. He's an old school. He's a football guy. He's a football guy.
He's also washed up.
Wake Forest is also not very good.
Bull crap. Did you see how they absolutely dismantled Rice?
All right. I'm going to go with North Carolina. It's been well documented. I like North Carolina this year. I like Mac Brown. Obviously, he's a better coach than this clown.
Who is documenting that?
Dave Clawson has been to a bowl the past couple of years. That is impressive at Wake Forest.
Well, North Carolina is already a third of the way to a bowl, so.
Well, so is Wake Forest.
So I'm going to go to North Carolina.
Well, the winner of this game will be halfway to a bowl.
Yeah. All right. Washington State at Houston.
Talk about falling off of the cliff. Houston has just gone. I remember they were ranked 6th open in the nation a couple years ago, and now they're just absolutely awful.
Well-
He's one of the best coaches in the country. Washington State's going to win by 50.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you have a coach running your program into the ground like Major Applewhite did. I know Chris loved Major Applewhite, but he ran Houston to the ground. Mike Leach, Dana Holgerson, former assistant coach for Mike Leach, but give me Anthony Gordon, the terrific transfer quarterback for Washington State, who's already put up over 400 yards in the first 2 games. Give me Washington State in a blowout.
Reason number 1, I'm picking Washington State is because
They're a Power 5 team.
No, that's number 1.
That's reason number 2.
Reason number 1. What's the guy's name? The coach there for Houston. Why can't I remember his name?
Holgerson.
West Virginia.
Holgerson.
Yeah, he sucks.
Dana Holgerson.
Washington State.
Holgerson.
And reason number 2, I'm picking Washington State because they're a Power 5 team and Houston's not.
Fair enough.
Okay. Kansas State at Mississippi State.
I don't know. I don't care. Both these teams suck. I mean, I guess
That is absolutely absurd.
I'll go with Mississippi State.
Not so fast. Not so fast. Chris Kleiman, 4-time national champion at North Dakota State, head coach at Kansas State. He has a championship pedigree. As for Joe Moorhead, not really. Give me Kansas State in a blowout. I know I took Kansas State last year and they got blown out on their home field, but I really like Kansas State this year. They might go to the Big 12 championship game. I really like where they're going this year.
All right. I'm going to go with Mississippi State. They're a better team. That's all I have to say. They're a better team. Kansas State's not very good. Mississippi State is good.
What are you on? Have you seen what Kansas State has done? They destroyed Bowling Green.
Impressive.
And Nichols, the team that beat Kansas last year. They absolutely destroyed them.
As impressive as that is, I'm going Mississippi State.
Ridiculous.
All right, Ohio State and Indiana.
Yeah, Ohio State's going to win. It's not really even going to be close. It'll be close for the first quarter, but Ohio State's just so much better and so much more talented than Indiana.
Yeah, I was so tempted to put Tom Allen on this slide, but decided not to.
Really the better coach. This is ridiculous.
Well, Brian Day's never lost a game.
No, but the truth is Tom Allen has never won a close game ever at Indiana. Indiana never wins close games. But this game won't be close anyway. Ohio State's going to blow the doors off Indiana. I think it'll be closer at half. Indiana's got an okay defense. But, and if they have Peyton Ramsey at quarterback, it'll be even closer. But they have that stupid lefty who sucks. I don't know why they play him. But, yeah, give me Ohio State.
Not so fast. You say what you want about Tom Allen in close games, but this is not going to be close. Indiana is going to blow out Ohio State this week. Listen, Ohio State.
You wonder why you come in last every single time.
Ohio State.
Because you do shit like
that. I'm first place for a reason. I'm in first place for a reason. Ohio State always loses. Always gets destroyed by some quote-unquote mediocre team.
No, that'll be Nebraska coming up.
No, Nebraska's not good enough. Indiana's much better than
that. And Iowa and Purdue are good enough.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
So I will take Indiana in an absolute blowout. I say 49-17.
Imagine saying that pick on TV because Ohio State loses to a mediocre team every year. I got Indiana 49-17 on CBS Sports Network and see what they say.
You sound like Mark May. You just pick against Ohio State every single day. It could be Ohio State versus I don't even know. It could be Ohio State versus Ohio State's got a great team, great coach. I think they're going to give them a run for the money and steal it at the end. what you talk about over there. That's for Hubba Pep. That's the Wolves.
Okay.
Hubba.
Pittsburgh at Penn State.
Mike, you want to pick State first?
Yeah, as you can see, I have Pat Narduzzi as my coach on this slide.
I agree.
Clearly the better coach. I don't think anybody disputes that. And he has a win over James Franklin in his resume. Unfortunately, Pitt is not very good this year. It's a rebuilding year for them. Penn State, they'll probably win like 21-14. But because Penn State's not that good either.
Hold your horses. This is a rivalry game, and anything can happen in rivalry games. That's why I'm going with the underdog this week. This is my underdog of the week, and it's going to be Pitt. Pitt's going to pull it out.
That's one of the most absurd things I've ever heard in my entire life.
I remember picking Pitt last year, and they absolutely let me down. So,
how about this, Chris? You ready for this? I'll tell you something more absurd. Michigan in a championship game.
Fair enough. Penn State's going to win because Pitt sucks.
Hold your horses.
So that's why I'm going with Pitt.
Hopefully we'll be picking Tennessee Chattanooga, Chris. That's one of the top games this week.
No. Stanford, UCF.
Well, everyone knows that Chris will be taking UCF. I mean, Stanford. He'll be taking Stanford. Everybody knows that. But I'm going to have to go with UCF. They're just a better team. I think Stanford's on. Where's the game being played?
It's in Orlando.
Yeah, exactly. It's the home field advantage. That's where game day should be, but they're not. So I'm going to go with UCF.
Yep. As you can see, I have Josh Heupel as my better coach in this matchup. I really like him. He's way better than David Shaw. David Shaw, once again, showing that he's a mediocre football coach with that embarrassing loss at USC last week. He needs to be on the hot seat. I'm telling you right now, he is mediocre. I understand Stanford has no fan base at all, but he needs to be fired. Yeah, give me UCF. They benched Brandon Wimbush last week because he was terrible. Expect that to continue. UCF will blow him out.
I'm going with Stanford in a blowout. Better coach, better team.
Nope.
Reason number one is they're a Power 5 team, and UCF is not.
Well, that's obvious, but we all know my hatred for UCF, so I'm just going to take Stanford based on that.
Chris, Mike, the computer rankings made these slides, so the computer rankings say Josh Heupel is a better coach.
Yeah, that is so absurd in so many ways.
How?
That is so bad.
Well, UCF has a national championship in the last 20 years, and Michigan doesn't. So
no, yeah, explain that to me. How come the only time David Shaw's won crap is with Jim Harbaugh's recruits of all people. Once they left, he's really ran the program into the ground. Got no comeback for that, huh?
I have no comment. We're moving on. USC at BYU.
BYU coming off a great win against a shitty Tennessee team. But hey, anytime you beat a Power 5 team when you're a Group of 5 team, it's a great win. And obviously they have the Mormons behind them. So Mormon power will be helping them, but you got to go with USC. BYU's just not good enough. USC's going to win.
Yeah, I am all in on USC. Keaton Slovis is, for real, way better than JT Daniels ever wished he was. Give me USC in a blowout, although I do think Kanaki Satake is the better coach in this matchup.
Now, explain this to me. How is this game in Utah? How is USC scheduling games with BYU in Utah?
It's a beautiful place to go. It's great.
I might have to change my pick. The air is going to be a different air level, and the ball's going to fly more, and they're not going to be used to it.
Listen, yep, Deflategate 2.0.
Exactly.
Let's see here. This is a really tough pick. This may be the toughest pick of the week.
Well, Chris, isn't BYU? Actually, BYU is considered a Power 5 team.
Yeah.
Power 6. Power 6.
Okay. I'm going to go with BYU. because they're at home.
That's an embarrassing pick.
No. All right. Arizona State at Michigan State. This may be the most absurd coaching choice yet. Herm Edwards is much better than Mark D'Antonio.
I'm not going to lie. I had Herm Edwards on here, but I switched at the last second because Mark D'Antonio, the way he speaks things into existence is like nothing else. I've never seen a coach do it before. He does it just way too well. I like Michigan State. I think they'll put up like 28 to 30. I'll give them 28 points. 28-10, Michigan State. They'll pull away in the second half.
Well, Mike, as I remember last year, you were at this game, and obviously you're the bad luck because just look at the baseball team this year for us. You're on the team, and it goes to shit. So because you will not be at the game, I'm going to take Michigan State.
Fair enough. No comment.
Arizona State sucks. Michigan State is okay, so I'm going to go with Michigan State 10-9 again.
That is ridiculous. Arizona State has some great weapons. I mean, Benjamin, an all Pac-12 running back. Jaden Daniels might be the best.
19 points on Sacramento State.
Listen, Sacramento State might win the Big West. They are a really good football team.
Yeah, they're really good. Okay. Okay. Iowa State. I can't even speak how bad this is.
Well,
if Kurt Ferentz is on that side, I'm going to be pissed.
It's not. It's Matt Campbell, Luke.
Matt Campbell.
That's so bad. That is ridiculous.
Matt Campbell is the best coach in the Big 12.
All right.
He played at Mount Union under the winningest coach in college football history, and he learned from the best. So I love Matt Campbell. Huge Matt Campbell guy. Kurt Ferentz sucks. He ditched Maine. He ran Maine into the ground. I'm going with Matt Campbell.
Yep. Yep. Kirk Ferentz is tied with Iowa State, his career in Iowa, and he's won the last 4. That just proves how terrible of a coach Kirk Ferentz is. And Iowa couldn't run the football for crap this week. They really need to find a way to run the football, or else they aren't going to go anywhere. So, yeah, I've got Iowa State winning the football game. It is a big rivalry game, just like the Northern Iowa game was for Iowa State earlier, and they got the win.
The Cyclops, the Cyhawk.
The Cyhawk. It's a very important trophy. It is on FS1, so it's not as important as the Michigan State-Arizona State game, also at 4 o'clock, but it's very important. I've got Iowa State winning 20-17.
All right. Oh, boy. This is a very easy pick for me, and it's Iowa. Iowa is a much better team.
Nope, they aren't.
Much better coach.
They aren't.
Much better quarterback.
No. Give me Brock Purdy any day.
No. Absolutely. Okay, no.
The way he throws the ball, very Purdy.
Exactly.
Kirk Ferentz is the best coach in the Big Ten. Nate Stanley is the best quarterback in the Big Ten. I'm ready to say that.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Iowa. In Iowa, in their version of a blowout, which is like 14-3.
Listen, Iowa can't run the football. They can't win if they can't run it. Iowa State's going to win easily.
No. Okay. This slide is put in place just to make me mad. I know it. Florida at Kentucky.
Yep, I have Mark Stoops as the better coach, obviously.
Well, actually, if you go to coacheshotseat.com, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, which is the most safe coaches out of it's like
135, right?
130 they have on here. Mark Stoops is 129. He is the second most safe coach in the country.
I mean, if you look at that, listen, that ranking is it is the exact opposite of how good coaches are. So he is the third best coach in America then? Because he's the third safest.
No. He's the second safest.
Oh, so he's the second best coach. Okay.
Dabo Sweeney.
Oh, Dabo's the best coach, even though we'll see in a later slide if he wins the coaching
I
matchup.
see that.
Yeah, I like Florida though. I think Florida's going to win. Kentucky lost last year. Was their one good year in every 10 years, so I'm going to go with Florida.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky has struggled with 2 MAC teams, although I do think Eastern Michigan is a really good football team. They played them tough. Toledo played them tough. I really like Mark Stoops. He broke the curse last year, so that's the monkey that's already off their back. I'm not too impressed with Florida. In fact, I really do think Kentucky has a better quarterback in Terry Wilson. You know what? This is my upset of the week. I'm taking Kentucky.
Okay. That is so ridiculous.
Listen,
Florida is so much better.
Give me the better coach. The better coach wins 80% of the time, usually.
Yeah, well, Mullen's the top 4 coach in the country, so...
He can't even stand up straight. How is he going to be a good coach?
I'm taking Florida to blowout, like 24-3.
It's not really a blowout, but whatever.
Well, the SEC's version of a blowout.
Okay. Oh, you mean what Arkansas will do to Texas A&M in a couple weeks?
Yeah. Okay. TCU at Purdue.
I have no idea about TCU this year. But I do know Purdue. Rondell Moore is electric. Next year, I think he's going to be the sneaky Heisman pick. He is so electric. I'm going to go with Purdue. It's at Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette. I'm going with Purdue.
Yep. Purdue, Elijah Sindelar looked way better, although in the big moments he always falters. But when it's a small game, a game nobody cares about, he plays like an absolute god. Give me Purdue. I like TCU coming into this matchup before the season, but I like Purdue now.
Choo-choo. I think TCU is a much better team. I don't think Purdue's very good. And TCU is obviously a much better coach. I'm going to go with TCU.
Well, I was tempted to put Jeff Brom on here.
Yeah, that would have been a new level of absurdity.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a new level of absurdity. Let's look at the next slide.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Gary Patterson has his own statue outside of the stadium. He's still coaching.
Very interesting coaching selection here. Clemson at Syracuse.
Yep, Dino Babers is the better coach in this matchup.
I'm going to go with Clemson. Clemson's going to have no problem into the ACC this year.
Yeah, Clemson. All Clemson's been hearing the past 2 years is Syracuse, Syracuse, Syracuse. I like Clemson to win in a historically great blowout. Give me like 84-0, Clemson.
Yeah, I'm going with Clemson because they're better than everybody else. Okay. Texas Tech at Arizona is our last pick.
Bang, 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 bang. Gotta get your guns up. Gotta get your guns up. Bang, 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 bang. Who do Mike have on this side for the better coach?
Matt Wells.
Of course I had Matt Wells.
Bang, 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 bang. Well, Texas Tech is 2-0. Arizona's 1-1. Texas Tech will win.
Oh, of course. Oh, the old winning percentage trick, huh? I will also take the winning percentage trick. Give me Texas Tech.
Yeah, Arizona is a disgrace. And this is about the time where I picked Texas Tech to make the playoffs. So I'm going to go with Texas Tech. And I really like Alan Bowman.
Yep, Chris picked them to make the playoff, and they went 5-7 last year. We all remember that. Did you also pick Colorado? Because they started 5-0. I'm sure you had them in the top 10.
I picked Texas Tech, and then I had Iowa for a while.
Oh, of course, Iowa. Yeah. Until Alex Hornibrook absolutely picked them apart in the fourth quarter. Speaking of Alex Hornibrook, Florida State really needs to go with Alex Hornibrook next week against Virginia.
Florida State got a statement win yesterday.
No, he's a lefty. There's never been a good lefty quarterback.
And if Florida State didn't crap themselves and almost lose to ULM, the Florida State Virginia game would be on here. Unfortunately, it's not because Florida State sucks.
Okay. Texas Tech, I really like Alan Bowman. Great quarterback. Aside from Jalen Hurts, he's the best quarterback in the Big 12.
No. That guy from Oklahoma State, what's his name? Spencer Saunders. I'll take him any day. Mike Gundy, the QB whisperer.
I take Bowman over Ellinger. I take Bowman over everybody else.
What about Charlie Brewer?
Yes, I take more Charlie Brewer.
Oh, that's absurd. What if Zach Smith was still there?
No, Brock Purdy.
Well, then that's the exact Smith, but he's not there.
Oh, but what if Jared Stidham was still there?
Well, we all know I'd be taking Jared Stidham.
Listen. Brock Purdy is the best quarterback in the Big 12.
Yeah, Luke, he's top 3 easily. He's better than Nate Stanley. I take him over Nate Stanley. His ability to run. Nate Stanley.
There's no words to express how absurd that is.
What?
Nate Stanley's the best quarterback in the Big 10.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Why does he struggle to win it? Why does he struggle to win a game every year? He sucks. Went 7-5, goes 7-5 every year, just like his coach.
No, that's not true.
You're telling me Iowa doesn't go 7-5 every year?
No, because they're going 10-2 this year.
Chris, obviously, I would go with McLean Carter, but he's a lefty, so I can't.
What's that, the guy from Kansas?
No, the guy from Rutgers.
He's about Big 12.
Oh, you mixed it up to the Big 10, so.
Yeah, listen, Michael Penix from Indiana. You got to factor in Brandon Peters as well.
Oh, that's actually a good point.
And, but also Tanner Morgan from Minnesota made a huge throw in overtime against Fresno State. So might have to give it to him.
Yeah, that's a solid point. Really solid point.
I mean, PJ Fleck is the best coach in the Big Ten right now. So
no, okay. All right, that's enough. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see I don't even know if Michigan can win this week. I know they're on a bye, but I just don't see them winning.
Michigan will be taking a loss this week. They'll be on to 2-1.
Yep, Michigan will not win this week. That is my lock of the week. Michigan will not win this week.
Yeah, my lock of the week is Indiana over Ohio State.
My lock of the week is that Dino Babers is a better coach than Dabo. That's my lock of the week.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay, we will see you next week. Thank you for watching.